Okay, let's do a quick review of how you can be able to move solutions from one environment to another in your Power Platform environment. So first things first, you should not actually be developing in your production environment. And what I mean by environment is these guys here. So for instance, you'll see for us, we have the CoE environment, development environment, and our main ones. So you should not actually be, your solutions should not be in your production environment. So it's ideal for you to create environments, and I will link a video up there, or I'll provide details on how you can be able to do that. But it's pretty easy and straightforward. So with that being said, so we have different environments. In my case here, I have the CoE environment. And let's say, for instance, I want to move my solutions from our development, so in this case is my CoE, over to our main environment. So it's pretty straightforward. If you're using Accelerator, the setup for the Accelerator is not the easiest, but I will do another video for comprehensive on how you can actually be able to do it from end to end. But in this case, let's say, for instance, I want to move this solution, the testing 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever this testing is, to the other environment. So the first thing that I will need to do is actually to create a profile for it. And I've already created one here, but you can easily be able to do the same thing by just clicking on this plus here, and it will allow you to be able to create a profile for it. Once you create a profile, let me go back in there. Once you create a profile, it will allow you to be able to set up where you want your deployment to go. And as I mentioned, I want mine to go to my production. Of course, the way I've configured this environment here is I'm allowing my users to be able to select where they want the solution to end up. So in this case, I want it to end up in that environment. And you can set up the rest of them, like for instance, test and validation, if you want to have that staged progression. So in this case, I'm not doing all that. So you go ahead, click save. And once you click save, it's gonna go ahead and close that. So this solution now is ready for me, so I can go ahead and commit it. So once I do the commit process, and I provide here, this is deployment, and then I can define where I want it to be based off. I want mine to be based off sample solution, and then that's where it's gonna commit, and it can create new branches if I wanted to, and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and commit. And because of the pipelines that we're running behind the scene, this can take a while. So you see over here, it's gonna set it that way. So I can jump there real quick and see how my job is going. So this is the job that it's running. I'm gonna go ahead and look at that here real quick, and you can see it's going to have a lot of jobs that will be going on. So quite a bit of them. So I'm gonna pause here until this is all done. Okay, my process has completed. As you can see, I have all green check marks there based on my pipeline. So I'm gonna jump back to my application here, and I can see that this is our application, that it's ready. Now I can go ahead and deploy it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the deploy. And I'll define where I want my branch to be. So this one here, this is testing 1, 2, 3. I mean 3, 4. Sorry, if I can type today. It's Friday. So testing, and then whatever I want that branch to be, it will go ahead and create a new branch for it, and that's based off the advanced settings that I have here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do deploy, and it's gonna do the same thing. So we'll be able to see here in just a moment this job here running. And I can see now that this is actually requiring me to go ahead and authorize it. So if there was a authorization that's required, you can set up this as a workflow process on your side, because remember, I'm moving it from one environment to another. So in this case, a developer will be doing the initial piece, and then somebody who has access to whatever environment that you're pushing it to, they will need to be able to authorize that and approve it. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete, and I can see that it's doing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete the merger. I can see all that life is good there. If I go back to my application in just a moment, should be able to see this all done. Let's go back up there. Yeah, so this has completed, and we can see that at the very top here. I just needed to be a little bit patient over here. and there we go. So we have our green check mark. So if now I was going to jump over to my other environment, which is where we deploy the app, and I'll bring that up in just a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and drag it to from the other screen. So you will notice that I have this one here that just now showed up. So if I was to refresh this environment here, so my solution actually came over, and it might be a little bit convoluted. You're seeing it as a month. That's when I created the solution. So this guy load here. Come on. So that's my solution, and it will have everything that I have, and this just got moved from this environment. So that's happy days. Thank you so much, and have a great development.